In this video, we're going to be subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So just like we did yesterday, we're going to be taking those fractions with unlike or not like denominators and giving them equivalent fractions so that they have common denominators. We are going to be finding our LCMs again today and making equivalent fractions. Remember, equivalent fractions is when I multiply a fraction by a 1. Now remember that 1 can be 3 over 3 because we know that 3/3 equals 1. If I multiply 1/2 times 3 over 3, I'm going to get 3/6 because 3/6 is equal to 1/2. If you eat 1/2 of a pizza or you eat, it's not the most beautifully drawn pizza, 3/6 of a pizza, you've still eaten 1/2. So we're going to multiply that fraction by 1. Number over a number to give us 1, and then we will have our equivalent fraction with a different denominator. Let's jump in with this very first problem. It says 4/5 minus 3/4. Now our first step, like always, is to come up with our least common multiple. Let's go ahead and make our T-chart for 4/5 and 3/4. 5, 10, 15, 20. That looks about right. Notice that I am counting by that number. That's how you find the multiples. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. And 4 times 5 is 20. There's our LCM. Our LCM for 4 and 5 is 20. So let's go ahead and take what we learned over there and rewrite our fractions. Instead of a 4/5, we are going to figure out how to make it equivalent and still have a denominator of 20. I know that 5 times 4 is 20. So if I multiply the denominator by 5, I also have to multiply the numerator by 4 as well. I think I caught myself in a little mistake there, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and put our 4 on top. 4/4 I know equals 1. So let's go ahead and multiply 4/5 times 4/4 equals 16 over 20 because 4 times 4 is 16. It's like a tongue twister. Let's go ahead and do our 3/4. I want to make an equivalent fraction where it has a digit over the 20 with a 20 in the denominator. So let's go ahead and notice 4 times 5 is 20. So if I multiply the denominator by 5, I also have to multiply the numerator by the exact same number. And I know that 3 times 5 is 15. So let's go ahead and write them down here. Make sure you put them in the correct order, because if you didn't, you would have like 15/20 minus 16/20, and then you have a negative number, and it would be very confusing, and we don't do negative numbers in 5th grade. So my 4/5, my equivalent fraction to 4/5 was 16/20. Let's go ahead and bring that down. And then minus 3/4, my equivalent fraction for 3/4 was 15/20. Now's the super easy part. You bring over your denominator, it stays the same, and you just subtract. 16 minus 15 is 1. My answer for 4/5 minus 3/4 is 1/20. Looking good, looking good. Let's do another one. For this one, I took out the steps and you'll have to figure it out. First things first is always to go ahead and make our T-chart. Now this one is super easy because our common denominator is one of our denominators. It is 8. Super easy T-chart. And it's totally fine if your T-chart ends up super long and you can't find a number and it's one of the first ones. Sometimes it can be hard to pay attention to. Let's go ahead and make our equivalent fractions. We've got 6/8 and I want my denominator to be 8. So I know I'm just going to multiply by 1 and bring over that 6/8. Next, I've got 1/4 and I know I want my denominator to be 8. I know that 4 times 2 is 8. And if I multiply the denominator by 2, I also have to multiply the numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Let's put in our numbers. 6/8 is also equal to 6/8. It's not going to change. 1/4 is also equal to 2/8. So I know that 6 minus 2 is 4/8, and that fraction can be simplified. We can divide this fraction by 4/4, divide it by 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. My answer is 1/2. Some of you might have known that 4/8 equals 1/2, just like 3/6 or 1/2 or 5/10, but it's always good to work it out just in case. Let's jump onto that next side of the page. I can subtract fractions with unlike denominators. We've got 2/3 minus 2/6. Let's go ahead and write out our multiples. 3, 6, and 6. Super easy on that one. Remember, if we had kept going, I would have eventually gotten down to 12. And 12 would have worked as well. We're looking for that least common multiple. So 12 will not work in this situation. We have to use 6. So our LCM is 6. Let's go ahead and rewrite our fractions as equivalent fractions. 2/3, and I want it to equal something over 6. 3 times 2 is 6. And if I'm multiplying the denominator by something, I have to multiply the numerator by the exact same number. 2 times 2 is 4. And this one is already 2/6, so I'm going to multiply it by 1 over 1 and still get 2/6. Notice the 2/3 comes first, so our 4/6 minus 2/6. 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 stays your denominator, but did you catch it? We can simplify it. Divide by 2. Our answer is going to be 1/3. Beautiful, beautiful. Remember, you can pause the video or back it up anytime you need to if you need to rehear something, or just pause where you write. But if you're good, let's go ahead and dive into the very next problem. We've got 3/4 minus 1/3. 3/4 minus 1/3. Let's go ahead and make our T-chart. For this T-chart, you should have said 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. There it is. Our LCM is 12. So let's make some equivalent fractions. I've got 3/4. And I know I want my equivalent fraction to have a 12 on the denominator. I want you to choose which numerator you think we're going to end up with. For this one, your thing you're multiplying it by should be the same, so we can make it an equivalent fraction. So in order to get from 4 to 12, you have to multiply by 3. And if we multiply the denominator by 3, we also have to multiply the numerator by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So our first number here is 9/12 minus, we've got 1/3. I want to make it have the common denominator of 9. 3 times 4 is 9. So I know that I need to multiply by 1 times 4 as well and get 4. So right now I've got 9/12 minus 4/12. Let's go ahead and finish this off. What do you think the answer is going to be? For this one, all you had to say is 9 minus 4 is 5. Bring over that 12. We don't even need that big old box. 5/12 is correct. Let's dive into this last one. I want you to go ahead, solve it on your own, and put the answer to your little egg in the box. Let me know what you got for an answer, and then we'll work it out together. For this one, you should have gone ahead and made your T-chart. You don't have to make much of the T-chart because you know exactly what those numbers are because you are smart like that. Our LCM is 6. So 2/3 and 1/2. With 6 as a denominator, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. So I know that I'm saying 2/3, which equals 4/6, minus 1/2, which equals 3/6. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring over the 6. My answer is 1/6. Looks beautiful, looks beautiful. Make sure you're checking your work to ensure you understand. If you get to a point where you do not understand what you got wrong or what to do, please raise your hand so that I can come help.